Hi guys, I just got my tag submission back, and I think this is gonna be my last time ever using tag. You know, the wait is too long. I think I did this early April, and what? It's August already. Yeah, it's almost yeah, 4 months, 5 months. I'm gonna say that it's been in submission, and it's just been such a hassle. But most likely I'm just gonna do a review of all the cards I got back, but this is gonna be the last time I ever use tag, just because of how inconsistent they are, and you know, it's just a fad at the end of the day. Because tag, the only reason why they were superior is because of the faster turnaround times than PSA. But if you know stuff hits the fan and they can't compete with the faster turnaround time and they're slower, then it's just no point of using them. You know. It's more liquid to sell PSA, it's more better to sell PSA, and in general, people just trust PSA even more because AI is inconsistent. It uses historical data, all that stuff. It doesn't mean it's going to be the perfect card because AI said so. And that's my personal idea, you know? So let's just start, you know, this is a Team Rocket's Doug Trio, and 10. With these Ascended Hero cards, they're much more easier to grade, they're more lenient on grading, and it's just much overall better to grade. But by the time the card comes in, if I'm paying 20 bucks for the card during its mid-time peak of the set Ascended Heroes, and right now maybe the card's probably worth 10 bucks, and the grading is what I think I paid 27-ish, maybe 30 after taxes and shipping, it becomes almost like a $40 to $50 card. Resale is not that high. It's probably 30 bucks. So my profit on this is 10 bucks. I mean, like that. And it's not that bad, but it's not that good. Here's a Dunspree. I think this was supposed to be a good contender, but I think on the scan and report it just said like roller ink, but you know, you can't see that stuff. And I'm not that happy, you know, this life just sucks, man. And then here's a Houndoom. I think this is a Master Ball. I think these are both Master Balls. Yes, Master Balls. But this one got the 10. I'm happy for that. I'm just starting the finger stuff, but Mega Salamence, the one thing I don't like, and this is a 1.5, is that they just won't give me the ones. Look at that card is basically peeling off. It's literally peeling off. You got creases everywhere, you got corner damage, and a 1.5 fair. Just give me the one. No one buys 1.5s, 2s, just a 1. If I'm sending out a damage copy, I want a 1. And that's what I don't like. And I think with this submission, I think it was supposed to be in those in the wrapper and stuff, but I don't think I got it because, you know, tag is just inconsistent. The grading's not the best, and it's just inconsistent. And here's an Arceus level X. Got the 2, but you could see damage. It's peeling off. It's actually peeling off. So this is level X, got a 2. And here's a Ditto. And it also got a 2 as well. And right here, you can see constant damage and stuff. Like this would definitely get a 1 PSA. And it's much more liquid PSA. Tag 2, who's going to go into, you know, let's say eBay and say, let's search up for a Ditto Pikachu PSA 2. Or Tag 2, I'm sorry. No one's really doing that, you know. And I don't think the key searches are going to pop out as much. This got a 7. It's not bad. It's a cracked glass, and it got the 7. It's not bad. And here's a Celebi Prime. I think this is a nice card, and I'm glad I got an 8 as well. See, this, I was super surprised that it got an 8 actually. You see whitening, and its card is almost kind of yellow just due to its vintageness. But an 8 is surprising, but to be honest, I wouldn't trust these standards. Like, I think this is genuinely last time ever using tag. Tag is going to be like, let's say, Ace Grading. It's going to be like those grading companies that just people use for a meanwhile because content creators promote it and everyone uses it and it bloats about it. But at the end of the day, when people are searching for these cards, PSA is going to be the best. Even though they all have their issues, PSA is just going to be overall best. More liquid, more easier to sell, more easier to search, everything. Long term, yes, PSA is going to do better. And companies like Tag, 7.5, that say they're going to be better, faster turnaround time. I don't think turnaround time is not necessarily a big factor. Then it's being sold. You know, people are going to look for PSA. When you ask these card shops, hey, can you buy my tag? They're not going to be like, oh, no, more lenient. They're going to always decrease it 20%. They say, I want to buy tag for 20% less of what PSA would go for. And that's just not a good mindset. If people keep that mindset, and yes, I think tag grading is good for collecting, but as a selling purpose, it's very hard. You know, you don't want the grading company that uses these other stuff. You just want to use the main guys, you know. So PSA, I would even say CGC is a little bit more better. So my hierarchy is going to be always PSA, and then BGS, and then CGC, so Pristine Sends, and then Gemit CGC 10s, and then possibly tag in every other grading company, because they all at the same time, they're just random grading companies, insider information, blah, blah, tag each other and stuff. It's just gimmicks. PSA is just going to be always the best overall. And this got a 9. Like this stuff, I'll tell you this, when cracking tag slabs, like if it gets a 9, it's generally impossible. PSA is a little bit more easier to crack. And here are the more SIR stuff, so I think these are going to be more higher gems. So here's a Mega Starmie, and 10. Makes sense. But I think when I bought the card, so this is Perfect Order. Perfect Order is not doing really well in August. You can probably buy this card, let's say raw, for 80 bucks, I want to say. Because I think market value right now is like 150, 170 on PSA value. And usually when you're selling tag, it doesn't really go for much more than PSA. If anything, PSA, it goes for less. People are going to argue that it's not PSA, and then you're just going to have to roll with the punches. But, you know, this is a 10, but at the same time, I think I lose money because how long the turnaround time is. Because I think before the crazy backlog, tag was saying like the turnaround time was only a couple of days more. Like I think when I got it during April, so during the last time it was accepting a bulk submission, and I think it said 45, but then it can go up to 70, and I said, oh, that's fine. So 2 months, not bad. 4 months, that's crazy. And there's no compensation. They're just saying, hey, longer wait time, that's on you. And I think that's 10, so that's cool. That's another 10, and here's another one, 10, so that's 3 Mega Zygardes. I think this card's cool, and I think it's going to do really well. Like, what, this is the chase card of the Perfect Order set. But Perfect Order is not good because people like their bias. Mega Zygarde, I think Mega Zygarde is cool. It's a cool gimmick. It has the 4 variation. It is pretty cool. I think it's a really good card. But right now, I think a lot of great stuff is just not doing really well. And here's a 30, I think, 10. Nice. But yeah, so much for my rant, you know. And 9. And the thing about these type of businesses is that even though grading can help a lot, it's a very hard business because the turnaround times can kill you. And then you have to find, like, the card hobby is a very good business to make because you can make money in every single aspect. You can make money with grading, selling raw, selling sealed, opening sealed with like ripping ships. But finding a specific niche that you're good at within the card hobby is very hard. Because even with the grading company, like grading stuff like PSA and stuff, buying like the low pop PSA 10s, bought that stuff. Because grading companies, you got to assume that, you know, turnaround times are going to be slow. And it's going to be very hard to source. So you're going to outsource to other stuff. But this also got a 10. That's pretty cool. I like this card a lot. And, yeah. So 10. So when people, like, I like doing this type of hobby. It's just fun for me, you know. And these are, I think these are 2 cards I sent together. And when I bought them through another vendor, I think. I don't like buying from vendors. Mark up with these prices. They made me pay high for these, I know for sure. They're saying it's clean copies, and finding clean copy that was fresh out of the box, okay, I'll pay the premium. And 8.5 and 9. That's cool. I like the Yveltal more. You know, I'm happy I got a 9. I knew it was going to 10. There's whitening, cut corners, and there's not good, but tag wants to give it a 9, and gives it a 9. 8.5. I hate those sub numbers. Oh, this one's cool. 10. This is a nice card. It's very nice. Tag team's going to do really well. And 10. Nice. Here's a nice card. I think I bought this card from a shop, and they said it was, I think, OP, because they said there was some type of, but oops, revealed it 9, but they said there was some type of damages, but I thought it was a clean copy overall. I didn't see any white corners, but centering's not the best, you know, left, or I meant right heavy, top right, bottom good, but it's nice overall. You know, I think I paid 800-900. Grading company grading is like $30, so no, it's not that bad. I don't net that much, but it's a nice card. I think Van Gogh features are going to be a very good hold, and that's a 9. It's going to be a very good hold, and I think it's a very good investment. These cards are very easy. The newer cards, the SAR's 10. See, 10. I graded like a bunch of these. Like I want to say more than 20 with the Mega Charger. I think I graded more of the Mega Charger Egg promos, but that also got like a bunch of 10s. I know when I sent a bunch with Tag gave me a bunch of like 8.5s, 7s, 10. But here, I think I sent out 28 cards in total, and if you can see that, perfect. I got 50% gem rate, and that's not bad considering most of the cards, oops, slippery. Most of the cards were vintage, like the loads, like these stuff. I knew these weren't gonna gem, get any high subgrades, but dang, Tag does not like to give out ones. But that's my rant about Tag. I think Tag overall is a good company during its peak and prime, if they can able to give out faster turnaround times in PSA, because at the end of the day, the reason why you want higher turnaround times is because you want the grade faster, so that before the time corrects itself or goes higher or goes lower, most of the times lower, you have time to sell and grade and do that stuff and get the market right? But if you're waiting 4 months for just a stack of 28, and I'm pretty sure in my other video, the Dialga, I sent that after the submission, and I got that submission way faster in, and that was what, 40 plus cards, and I got that way faster with better green rates. But you know, that's my rant on Tag, and this is gonna be probably my last time grading with Tag if they do faster turnaround times, because I do have a large stack of grading cards. Let me show you. Like, these are some of the few grading cards. I think this is 100 plus, maybe 150. It includes like Mega Charger X, you know, promo, like the thing, a bunch of the rare cards, like just stuff like that. Base set Charizard damage, you know, and then other submissions. Like, I just have so many cards to submit, and it's just a lot, you know. I sent out as a lot to submission. So overall, long term, I like to use PSA. Shorter times, I like to use other grading companies. Like I only did Tag just for a meanwhile. Like, I want to say I used Tag to grade at least 1,000 cards, and I think it only takes like one bad experience, but for me it took multiple bad experiences before this video. Like, I graded so much with Tag, and it's just not the best for me. But some key highlight cards are, like, I want to say Low Honey, Tyranitar. These ETB promos are very hard to gem. You know, there's whitening right here, and corners are not the best. And I think the SIRs are kind of cool. So like the Zygarde and the Starmie, Mega Starmie. But the Van Gogh is cool. I think out of the non-10s, I think the if I can find it, I think these are the cooler cards out of the non-10s. So like the Jirachi, Van Gogh Pikachu, Yveltal, and then the Celebi Prime. But this business is not the best, you know. Like, it's very hard, and at the moment I'm a college student, so I'm trying to pay for bills, I'm trying to live the best life, and it takes a lot of sacrifice. So not a lot of people are going to understand your sacrifice. Not everyone's going to understand your journey. You just have to go roll with the punches. No one's going to really help support you, but I enjoy this as a way for a source of income. It helps me a lot, you know, as a college student, paying bills and doing all that stuff, and generally having a good type of life. But that's my rant on Tag. I think Tag's gonna pretty much, I don't know, but in my opinion, I don't think Tag's gonna do that well. PSA is always gonna be the best, BGS second, CGC third, and I want to say Tag last. people don't really necessarily care about the grading. They mostly care about the grade, you know, and the grade, and they care more about the company itself. Tag, you know, there's so many grading companies that come out, so many of them. There's so many of them, and they're always trying to compete. And Tag's only good because they have a very good social media team. If you look at the background of Tag, they have a lot of these guys that have been in the hobby for so long. And yes, they found a loophole with the AI grading, faster turnaround time. But at some point, the gimmick dies. Tag's always going to be superior in every single way. When you want to, let's say, you want to have a 10, and let's say with like these harder cards to get, let's say Tag Team Pikachu, you know, you rather have a 10 in this in a Tag, or do you want have Tag in a PSA? Generally, Tag 10s, people say I like it for collecting, while other people like PSA because it holds value and it's good for collecting. But you need both value. You need both value and you need both collecting. And this, it's only mostly for collecting. You know, people don't really look for 9s in Tag. They mostly look for PSA 9s. Personally, for me, I would rather a PSA 9 over a Tag 9. The gimmick of AI grading is not that much to me, you know. But that's my rant, and thank you for watching, and hopefully I see you guys in the next video.